I know I started that too soon, but welcome to Retrobot, the YouTube channel where we feed a friendly space robot a diet of pure nostalgia. We are here on a Thursday night, and oh my gosh, my lovely producer, I'm married to her, but she's still lovely, is giving me the look that says that the sound is good. So, we're gonna do this, and it's gonna be awesome! Woo! Woo! I'm excited. We tried to do a live stream last night, and computer just would not cooperate.
I kinda sounded like this the whole time, except I had a little echo, so I think it was something like this.
Yeah, it was bad. It was so bad. And I'm trying to do settings on the fly, and then I'm turning cameras off. So I am very, very sorry. But we did diagnose the problem, and we have figured out how to prevent it. That's not really true. I turned my computer off and on, and everything worked fine. That's how it goes. So tonight, instead of doing a live stream last night and then doing another live stream tomorrow night, we are doing Dinobots Part 2 tonight on a Thursday night. And that's for two reasons. For one reason, because we got the software working and we figured we might as well hit the ground running in case it decides to poop the bed. And so, there's that. Also, by doing the live stream tonight, I get to go visit my mom tomorrow. I miss my mom. I miss my stepdad too. I miss my family, and so I want to go visit them. So I hope you guys don't mind that we're doing a Thursday night live stream instead of a Friday night live stream. But it's Dinobots! I mean, it's Dinobots! You have to be happy about Dinobots because Dinobots are cool. They are always cool, except for the times when they're not. But so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And before we get to Dinobots, let us pull up our secret word, because I always forget to do this. So I'm going to get it out of the way early. This is our secret word. When you hear this word, I must imbibe. Oh, that is good. Yeah. Yeah, did my parents make this? Okay, so this is a shout out to my parents who made this dessert wine. This one is the because my parents are cool. This is the chocolate wine port style, the pitch. Yeah, it's just from the banks of the picturesque Pitch Pine Run. This is their Pitch Pine Wine White Chocolate Port, and it is delicious. Al made this. Al is kind of brilliant and kind of amazing, and he's got this amazing, slightly unsettling, and sometimes just a little bit annoying tendency to be good at anything that he tries. I love you, Al, and you have delicious wine. Mom, you picked good. So, and you know what, Al? You picked good too. So, a toast to my parents. Oh, that's good. And while we're toasting, let's boy, I can't talk already. Let's hear a toast for Mason Fur, and he gets 2 toasts because you were here last night when everything shit the bed. So, a toast to Mason Fur. And Ty Guy, it's great to see you. And, of course, lovely and talented Monica. And Retrobot. Have to toast Retrobot. And, oh, I didn't even see Kyoji is here. Kyoji, wouldn't be a live stream without you. Okay. We're getting to the point where I'm chugging this. And, anybody who saw our live stream from last week will realize that it's dangerous when I get, when I've had a little bit too much. I don't know if you could tell. Monica was very loving and supportive, and she said that she really couldn't tell. But I was struggling by the end of last week's live stream. She makes these delicious fruity girl drinks that don't taste like they have booze in them. And since I spent the first 40 years of my life not drinking anything at all, then it doesn't really take much to get me there. And so yes. So, all right, let's look at some Dinobots, because we've got Dinobots. Now, this time, as you will see, we are looking at Gen 2 Dinobots to start out with, and then we're also going to talk about Dinobot. Does Dinobot count as the original Dinobot, since Gen 1 Dinobots were the original Dinobots, but he's the only one that was the original Dinobot? And so we have Dinobot, and then we have Transmetal's Dinobot, and then we have the repaint of Dinobot, which was Rapticon. Very, very cool. And then we also have the strange and unusual Energon, Grimlock, and Swoop combiner set, which merged to create Mega Dinobot. So there's just... It's Dinobots and Dinobot and Dinobots. See, that's why I did that thing in the title. And so, yeah. So Mazenfer says, I think when you're reaching for that lever, Clay, your forehead is getting pink. You know what? You're right. I have a inebriation monitor, and it's right in here. All you have to do is look for the capillaries to change color, and that's when I'm there. Oh yeah, and then in the Dreamwave comic, just as a side note, in the Dreamwave War Within series, they were called Dinobots with a Y. Dyna, like dynamite bots. I'm not sure if that was necessary. I didn't hate it at the time, but I'm not sure that... I don't know that you have to explain Dinobots. Like, give them some kind of pre-Earth Dino designation, because then it kind of invites the whole, okay, so if they were the Dinobots before they got to Earth, boy, it's coincidental that the Dinobots ended up with dinosaur transforms. I feel like, sometimes it's better not to try and rewrite too much of history. Dynamometer is a device for measuring force, torque, or power. So Dyna, force, power, Dyna. I get it. I get it. Yeah, I was thinking dynamite, but dynamometer. So, although I imagine that the origin, the etymology, I can say words like etymology because I've still only had half a glass of wine. The etymology of dynamite, I bet, is related to the prefix dyna, which is used in dynamometer. So, shared Latin roots. Learn your Latin, boys and girls. I didn't learn my Latin. They didn't teach Latin when I went to school. You didn't learn Latin roots or anything like that, which is kind of a shame because most of the Romantic languages are based off of all those same roots. So you can use those Latin roots to recognize words even in foreign languages. So that has nothing to do with dinosaurs. So why don't we talk about some dinosaurs? We've got Dinobots here, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to slide some of these guys out of the way because we want to get a really good view of our first candidates for discussion. We've got the Gen 2 Dinobots, and it's really hard to go wrong with these molds. This is Grimlock. He is in bright blue. He is in shocking blue, and there he kind of looked like he had lockjaw for a second there. Now this version we got secondhand on eBay. I'm going to point out something here, and this is something that I don't know if many people remember, but back in Transformers Generation 2, Hasbro had actually, they did not have the rights to the original Autobot and Decepticon symbols. And so for Transformers Generation 2, they made a new Autobot logo that looked more like Optimus Prime's face. And the new Decepticon logo, it didn't look like any particular Decepticon, but it did kind of, but it looked a lot like the original Decepticon logo, to be honest. But he is cast in blue plastic, and he doesn't look bad in the blue plastic. Is it as good as the iconic metallic gray? It's hard to beat that metallic gray. This one is, you can see that the silver is wearing off. And this is where I wish that there were a truly reflective paint that I could put on here, just spray on there and get that nice vacuum metallized finish. And unfortunately, I have never found a paint that's like that. I have researched it on a number of occasions, and I did see some things that claimed to do that. That was like $50 a can, but I just wasn't willing to, I didn't see a whole lot of reviews or anything on it, so I just wasn't willing to risk $50 a can on something that may or may not work. But you know what? I may look into it again, and I'll, if I find something that looks promising, I'll try it out, and I'll show my results on this channel, and I'll let you guys know if it actually works, because if I've got this problem, I imagine lots of you do too. And that sort of bleeds into the Clay Carlino channel. It's a little bit how-to-y, a little bit but it's how-to-y with toys. Maybe I'll just post it to both channels. No, wait, then they compete with each other. Oh gosh, this is complicated. So, the Autobot logo is Soundwave, according to Mason Fur. Yeah, you know what? You're right. It does look a lot like Soundwave, but the original Decepticon logo was based off of Soundwave. So, yeah, that's weird. That's weird. I think that it's intended to look like Optimus Prime, but Optimus Prime and Soundwave have very similar heads. They do. Soundwave has a little bit of a nose in the middle of the muzzle, whereas Prime's mask goes up over his nose. But other than that, they have very, very similar heads. So we've got Grimlock here, and Grimlock is still a cool figure regardless of whether he is blue or metallic gray. He's you just can't beat those original Takara designs. They are iconic, they are beautiful. If there is something to be said against Grimlock, it's that when I pick up Grimlock and then I pick up Snarl here, Snarl is weighty and he's tighter, and obviously this one's in much nicer shape than this one, but even if this one were beautiful, he would still be much lighter and feel more plasticky than this one. And yes, I did just use the word plasticky, and I stand by it. So, Gen 2 Grimlock was released in 3 colors. There was the original gray, the blue, and a sea blue turquoise. And I believe that the turquoise one is pretty rare, as is the original gray one, but then how would you know the difference except for maybe that Autobot logo? The other thing is that this one, the screws are rusty. Like, I don't know. I know what I did to my toys after the fire that caused their screws to get rusty, but this guy doesn't look like he's been through a fire and then a bath in bleach water. So I'm not sure why his screws are rusty. At some point, he's going to get a refurb. He may get some new screws. Yeah, we can compare him to original Grimlock. And of course, you can see that the engineering is identical. They are straight up repaints. There is no retooling done on either of these. This one does look fantastic, and he's nice and tight. You know, his joints are tight. He feels good, looks good. You just can't beat Gen 1 Grimlock. The original and still the best, but nothing wrong with this. And Grimlock in blue does not bother me. Because it's an awesome toy and it also looks great. So let's go ahead and transform him, because that's what we do with these toys. We transform them, and oh, Joy is here! Hey, a toast to Joy. Joy, you are delicious. I'm not sure what the implications of that statement are. Let's just go with it and move on. So let's go ahead and transform him, and he transforms exactly like the original Gen 1 version. We're going to split the tail, and we are going to fold the back half of the dinosaur body around to make the legs. And they have a little bit of a joint in here, which is nice. The thing is that, you know, if they had just rounded this the rest of the way, he could have had like full posability in his legs. He could have actually had a lower leg kicking forward joint, and they didn't do that back then. In fact, they actually intentionally limited joints movement so that you didn't move them into a position where they could easily break. So we have the body here. We are going to pull the head back, and then we are going to split the upper body just like this, and it's going to make wings. And then we have the lower body, like the tummy. His tummy comes up. Grimlock has a tummy for a chest. I'm kind of getting a kick out of using the word tummy over and over again to describe Grimlock's transform, because I feel like it's inappropriate and he's probably going to beat me up in my sleep. So we are going to slide the bottoms of the legs up to reveal the fists. And yes, do I need to do the voice? Me Grimlock tummy feel funny. There we go. Now he will definitely beat me up in my sleep. He doesn't have to wait for me to be asleep. He's Grimlock. He can beat me up anytime he wants. So we also have to get him to do the splits and then bend these down at the outer hinge. There is a double hinge there, and that gives him nice wide hips, and he looks great. I mean, he really does look great. Even this version that has a little bit more loosey-goosey joints and some rusted screws, that blue really does pop. He looks way better in robot mode than he does in his Dino mode. And I think that it's due in large part to that nice, rich, royal blue. You know, he just looks awesome. Let me see if the camera will focus in on him. Is the camera going to focus in? Nope. Camera's not going to focus in. The autofocus hates these reflective parts. Hates them. So let's go to the other camera. That's why we have two cameras. So we're going to go to the side camera here. Remember when I would say super close? I kind of missed the super close. It was, you know, limited in what it could do, but it was still fun. So you look at that, and he looks awesome! Look at that guy! And he is not ashamed of his blue palette. He's got nice He's got nice dimensions in his robot mode. Yeah, he's always had back kibble, but honestly, he's a Gen 1 Transformer. Well, a Gen 2 Transformer. He's allowed. Let's just do a little bit of a spin here. Yeah, I'm holding Grimlock by the head. And there we go. He just looks really, really nice. Let me go ahead and see if I can focus in just a little bit better, because you deserve to be able to see him in all his glory. So there you go. That is Gen 2 Grimlock, just looking amazing in his robot mode. This is a beautiful toy. And I will admit that for many years, I didn't think much about the Gen 2 Transformers, because I already had the Gen 1 versions of just about all of these guys, and the idea of seeing them in other paint decos, really didn't interest me that much. But I have to say that, especially after the last Dinobot live stream, when we were looking at my Gen 2 Snarl, which is right over here. Grimlock, are you going to stay up? Are you going to stay up, buddy? You don't want to stay up. Grimlock does not want to stay up. There, okay. So we were looking at Gen 2 Snarl, and it's just such a nice toy. It really made me kind of take a second look at these guys in general. So we kind of had to pick up a couple of these guys on eBay. And actually, this Gen 2 Snarl we picked up with the intention of using him for pieces to fix my Gen 1 Snarl, but he's in such beautiful shape, I just couldn't do it. Now I have... Oh, I knew that wasn't going to last. I finally have a Snarl. I got this Snarl, and he's just in such good shape, it just seems wrong to steal pieces off of him just for the purpose of fixing another Dinobot, even if it is a Gen 1. So while we're looking at Snarl here, let's go ahead and take a look at our Snarl. And as I mentioned, this is my newest one. I believe that when we got it, was it that the tail wasn't? No, it was missing a leg. It was missing a leg, so we got it very, very cheap. Well, I was able to take the one leg, the back leg that was still there on my Gen 1 Snarl, and put it on this one, so he's now 100%. And that's the exact opposite of what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to take half of the head and the leg and maybe the pin from the tail and fix my but you know what? Gen 1 Snarl, it needs a lot more help than just replacing those parts, whereas this guy, as you can see, he is so nice. He's just gorgeous. And so by adding one Gen 1 Snarl leg, he was back up to full fighting strength and full beauty. So let's move Grimlock back. Sorry, Grimlock. It's okay. Everybody loves you. Everybody loves you, pal. So let's just take a good look at Red Snarl. Red Snarl... Red and Green Snarl, of course, these all came out in 1993 with Transformers Generation 2. And, of course, there was both the Red Snarl and the Green Snarl. And was there an original Gray Snarl? Yeah, okay, so there was an original Gray in Generation 2, but, of course, it would have looked identical to the Generation 1 version. The green version is the most rare, and I will say that the green version, that really looks fantastic. I love the green-red combo here. He just looks awesome. And, this one is in particularly nice shape. I've got one sticker that's peeling. That is the only thing that's kind of hurting this guy. Other than that, he looks gorgeous. But you can't go wrong with this nice red version. It's got this deep, almost, it's not quite burgundy, but it's definitely a more purpley red than his cherry red body. And notice that the paint details on the Dinobots have not changed. The metal parts are still the same color red as they were originally, but they did change the plastic color for their dino parts. The reflective gold always looks great, and I especially love Snarl's head. Snarl's head, all of the Dinobots have this smoked plastic with these vacuum metallized gold parts underneath, and that's really cool, but in Snarl's case, it's particularly effective. He just looks gorgeous. And Mason Fur, let's just take a look. So Mason Fur says your G1 Snarl has those sweet childhood nostalgia scars and wears them proudly even after a fire. And it is so true. But just so that you know, poor Snarl, I got him and he was already broken. And I did some fixing, and some of those fixes didn't last. Like, he did have two halves of his head, but the first half, the one that's missing now, was broken when I got him. And I tried gluing on a little piece of plastic, and he had a broken leg, which I don't even know what this is. I don't remember. It's some kind of a plastic piece. I think that it used to be like the gas tank off of a toy truck, and it used to be vacuum metallized, and I heated it up with a lighter and then squished it with a pair of pliers and wrapped a wire around it to make it into a stump leg. He's got a stump leg, and then, you know, his He now, granted, it has been, originally his tail was still attached on both sides, and he used to have this leg went to Red Snarl. And you can even see, it's funny, you can still see the piece of plastic that I used to fix the original Gen 1 head, but the head has since gone missing. And I have no idea. It's not in any of my parts bins. It's not in any of the boxes. Yeah, I have no idea. So I will bring this back, and I'm just gonna throw out, if anybody out there knows anyone who has a Junker Snarl, doesn't matter if the pieces are broken, because I can fix broken pieces, but this guy's just missing them, and making pieces from scratch is a lot harder than taking broken pieces and making them into nice pieces. So if you know anybody, I am more than happy to buy Snarl pieces for a reasonable price. We always ask at toy shops, and what they say is, well, the pieces that are broken, that, any broken pieces that we would have had are the same pieces that are broken on yours. And what they don't understand is, I don't care if the pieces are broken. I just want them. Sell me broken pieces. I will buy your broken pieces. But I'm not going to pay $40 for broken pieces, because for $40, I can get a brand new one. So, wow, my face is already turning red. Oh my gosh. Just because I'm talking about his beast mode. So yeah, if anybody out there knows of anyone who has a poor Snarl or a pile of used to be Snarl, we will pay money for a pile of used to be Snarl. Probably not a lot of money, but we will pay money for a pile of used to be Snarl, so that we can make this Snarl into more Snarl. 2 Snarls become one Snarl. They'll be Mega Snarl. So yes, that's poor Gen 1 Snarl. He feels so. Till all Snarls are one. Yes, till all are one. Till all are one. Till all are. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. It's a Thursday night, and I'm drinking and talking about dinosaurs. So So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at Red Snarl here. He is gorgeous. He is gorgeous, and I love this toy. I'm so glad that I got it. I'm so glad that I have the green one. This is actually pretty cool, and I'm not necessarily going to start looking for all the Gen 2 Transformers, but the Dinobots, you know what? I will if I ever get the chance to get one of those powder blue Grimlocks, hell yeah, I'm getting powder blue. If they made a pretty pink Grimlock with a cutie mark on the butt, I would buy the shit out of that. So, oh yeah, you know what? There was a time when we were at the toy show. That was Toyapalooza, right? That was just this last year when we were at Toyapalooza, and we found what looked like a really cool black Grimlock. It turned out that all the paint was rubbed off. Get rid of the gold parts. It's black underneath. He's very black, and they wanted like $40. Oh really? They wanted $50 for that? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not. Especially once I discovered that this wasn't some kind of cool rare variant Grimlock. This was just a Gen 1 Grimlock that had been stripped. You know, $50? No, I'm not doing it. Sorry. I could go on eBay right now and find like current reissues of these toys that are gorgeous and brand new manufactured. And here's the thing. To me, it's not the age that makes this toy special. The toy is special. This one's special because it was mine. But if I needed a new one and they made a reissue of it, hey, it doesn't have to be 40 years old to be cool. There's a lot of brand new toys that are coming out right now that are super awesome cool. And we will talk about those next week. So we've got Red Snarl here, and we are going to transform him. So Red Snarl, first thing that we're going to do is we're going to move the back legs out of the way. Just going to move them up like that. And then we're going to take the front legs, and they've got these little spring-loaded bits, and we're going to rotate them down and lock them into the grooves on the side of the body, which I love, by the way. I love this recess here, and I love the way they fold in. It reminds me of the Voltron Lions. It reminds me exactly of the Voltron Lions. A very simple mechanic that completely changes the identity of this body section. And then we're going to split the head. We are going to pull... Oh, boy, his body just kind of wants to expand anyway. And we are going to rotate the bottom half of the body to make the legs. And there we go. And now, this mechanic I don't like as much. The sliding hip things, I like what they did with Grimlock a lot better. You know, this whole kind of sliding his thighs out along a cylinder on the hips, it's a little bit wonky, and it always has been. Oh! Savage Shark is here! Savage Shark! A toast! That is good. That is good. A toast to my parents who make great wine. Oh! Dudley is here! A toast to Dudley! Wait, here. There we go. There's Dudley. How you doing, Dudley? Oh, you're still trying to decide... Dudley is still trying to decide what he wants to do. But this is his tail. Dudley's favorite thing is to have you hold his tail, and I know this because his tail is shaped exactly like a handle. So you go like this, and oh, no, he doesn't want me to do that. So if you pet him on his back, he brings his tail up, and that means that he wants you to do it again. Just like that. Oh, no, he doesn't want me to do that. So if I pet him like this, oh wait, he's not going to let me do that. Now he's tucking his tail down. So what's the matter, Duds? Oh, he's curling up. Oh, I love this cat. He is so sweet. Here, wait, one more look at Dudley because oh, I love you. Yeah, I love you. Sweet kitty. Look at that cat. He is adorable. I love this cat. So anyway, back to Snarl. Oh, and Kyoji is just commenting, I'm not sure if it's ever been confirmed why Swoop and Sludge didn't get G2 releases, though they were in the planning stages, as if they did have recolors of their box art developed. And, that's a good question. My guess is that maybe it has to do with G2 just not being all that well received. It might have been one of those things where they figured they'd hold them back until later, and then they decided to go Beast Wars. So, Mason first says, Dudley is always in beast mode. Oh, I am in beast mode. Ooh, that was good. That was good. And it seems the more of this that I have, the easier it is to trick me into saying the word beast mode. I know, I said it. Here we go. Here we go. Thank you, Retrobot. There we go. So, we've managed to get half of Snarl transformed, and I was just commenting that I've never liked this whole sliding thing in the hips. I like the way they did it with Grimlock. They did the same thing with Sludge. And while it's nice to have some variations in the different transforms, I think that I would have preferred them sticking with hinge motions rather than this kind of slidey motion. So anyway, let's go ahead and focus on the other half of the body. We can slide this down and collapse the waist. We can also flip down the back halves of the lower halves of the legs, and see his fists are spring-loaded, so they'll come out. This Snarl, the springs are a little bit weak, so his arms don't really come all the way out until you drop them down. And then we are going to split the tail. Just like that, and it makes such a pleasant clicky noise. We split the tail to make wings, and then we've got the spine, which I love this mechanism. I know, I commented on this during Dinobots Part 1, but I just love the way that works. It's such a nice motion, and the way that it fits around is really, really beautiful. And so we're going to put it back and flip up the head, and then we're going to put it behind the head. And I love the way that design works. It gives him a really nice back. And that's something that you oftentimes don't see a lot, especially in the Gen 1 Transformers. They tend to use the back as where they put the crap. And Snarl was designed with a really nice back. Now, we are not done. We do have to rotate the waist here. So, we now have Snarl in his robot mode, and he does look really good. Let's go ahead and show him on the other camera, because my main camera doesn't want to focus on him. And you see how the legs just kind of want to slide back into... There we go. So, once again, Snarl is looking great. Just looking fantastic. These ones that we got on eBay did not have the extra weapons, which is fine. they're Dinobots. It's nice when they have swords, but when they don't have their swords, they're still Dinobots. So he looks really, really good. He's got nice proportions. Go ahead and take a look at that side view here. It's really nice. You know, the spines look great going down his back like that. And then when you look at him from behind, again, that is such a strong silhouette. This guy is iconic looking. And he is probably one of the least used of the Dinobots. You know, he didn't really have any starring moments in the series, but it's a fantastic toy, and it's no wonder that these toys have been so beloved for so many years, because look at this. This is fantastic. Let's go ahead and transform the other one. He does want to kind of flop backwards. He's got some weak joints in the knees. So, yeah, just kind of... There you go. Here, wait. We'll put your arms forward to give you a little bit more forward weight. There, that'll help. That'll help a little bit. So, let's go ahead and take a look at the green version. Green version. This is my favorite color deco. I might... Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb here. And overall, you know that I love the unified color scheme of the Dinobots. The fact that all of them had this metal, you know, this steel and gold and silver look. It's fantastic, and it creates team unity, and it made them an iconic subgroup that it didn't matter whether they combined or not. They all belong together, and it really, really worked well. So I'm not saying that I would change that, but what I am saying is this looks really nice. This looks really, really nice. Oh, I don't want to have to say it, but it looks nicer than the Gen 1 version. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Have mercy on me, Internet. But it does look nicer than the Gen 1 version. Look at that. It's gorgeous. It's like the coolest Christmas theme that you've ever seen. It's like Santa Claus spelled C-L-A-W-S. It's gorgeous. It's wonderful. It's amazing. This is such a fantastic looking toy. And even the Gen 1 version, when it was brand new, it looked great. But this really pops. It just really does pop. It's excellent. Just excellent. So, Savage Shark comments, I wonder why Snarl was never in the animated Transformers movie. That's a good question. Yeah, you only ever see 4 of the Dinobots, and Snarl is noticeably absent. Don't know why. Yeah, he was... Now, I believe that is a Marvel Comics shot. Okay, yeah, Monica was just bringing up an image from the movie that looks like... that shows Snarl there, but it's not a screenshot. It was from the Marvel comic. And looking at some other screenshots from the movie, yeah, I remember he wasn't there. You had Grimlock, Sludge, Slag, and Swoop. You didn't have Snarl. And maybe there's a story there, but it's a story that has not been told. So let's just go ahead and transform Snarl here, and I don't necessarily have to point out every key step because you know, I just showed you how to do it. You have to pay attention on this channel. We tell you how to do things once. That's it. Then there's a test. That's it. To say it once and a test. We are the mean physics teachers. Actually, that seems like an English teacher thing to do. The physics teachers were usually cool. It was the English teachers that would give you like a reading assignment, and it's like, okay, you read about this, so here's your test. How much could you memorize? So I was a really bad English student. I was a really bad student. I was like the stereotypical kid that had a C average because I would wait until the last minute, like the first 5 minutes of class last minute, to do my homework. And I'd be back there frantically, like trying to finish filling in answers before the teacher asked for the paper. And I was always so upset when they would ask for the paper at the very beginning of class. It's like, oh, come on, we both know how this works. Just let me spend the class period actually doing the assignment that I was supposed to do last night. That's fair. So, anyway, while I was telling that story, I was also transforming Snarl. Yeah, that's right. I can multitask, sort of. So, there we go. We've got Snarl, once again, looking amazing. Just looking fantastic. He's looking so good that the camera almost focused in on him. Yeah, that is... Come on, camera. You can do it. You can do it. Focus in on that Autobot sign. It's not going to do it. It's just not going to do it. Nope. That's why we have the side camera. Look at that. Oh, he looks so good. I'm looking at him on the monitor, and that just looks great. And the colors look great. Everything about him is awesome. And see, already the red one looks amazing. But red on red is not nearly as pronounced as the green on red. Green and red, for those of you who did not go to art school, green on red are complementary colors, which means that they occupy opposite positions on the color wheel. And so color schemes like these are used when you want to create tension or have bold contrast. That's right. I paid attention in art school. Something that I probably should have thought to do before then. Maybe? Maybe not. So, anyway, yes, we have Snarl here, and Snarl is looking great and knocking other Snarls over. Come on, Snarl. I know you have knee joints, but you don't have to use them. So, just fantastic toy. Fantastic. Love him. And look at that. This one has an original Autobot sign on him. My guess is that at some point one of whoever owned him had some stickers and put them on there, because obviously in Gen 2 they were using a different logo. So that's very... I never even noticed that before, but yeah, he has some Gen 1 stickers on him. So that is Gen 2 Snarl. We're going to move him out of the way, and we're going to put red Snarl in front of him. That way green Snarl can kind of prop him up. And let's go ahead and look at green slag. Boy, that's a word. Green slag. That sounds like something that you do not want to find in your sewer. But nonetheless, green slag looks good. Same color scheme as Snarl, although this one, the colors aren't quite as bold. He's in a little bit rougher shape. He's a little bit looser. He's got some scuffs and some scrapes, but mostly he is in nice condition. Slag, like Grimlock, is a little bit lighter, a little bit more plasticky feeling, and that's one of the reasons why I love Snarl. He is so solid. He is a block. You get mad and you throw him across the room, and it's the plaster that takes the damage. So this Snarl is still a nice toy. It's still in great shape, and I really love it. Let's go ahead and just go back to that camera view. The details on the mold. Yeah, and this is the thing. Look at how detailed all of these molded bits are. All of the dramatic mechanical things that have been put in there at a level when this stuff, you know, it wasn't that they would make a computer model and just mill this stuff out. I mean, I know that milling existed, but boy, that kind of technology was not cheap back then. So, Amanda Maceo, I'm here for the first time. Oh, Amanda Maceo. Oh, well, welcome, Amanda. It's great to see you. Welcome to Retrobot. I'm glad that you could come on. See, I gave her a bigger toast. She gets a big sip. This is Amanda's first time here, so everybody say hi to Amanda. Welcome. You're amongst friends here at Retrobot. We got a really cool group. Everybody's awesome. So, let's go ahead and take a look at Slag in his robot mode. His transform is pretty straightforward. Now you have to take the tail and dip it down and get it out of the way. You need to tuck the lower segments of the legs in, just like that. And then you can take the whole back half of the body and rotate it around to make the feet. There we go. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take that tail while these are kind of in mid-motion, and we're going to pull it around to the back. And now we take the feet the rest of the way. And now I realize that technically you're kind of supposed to have the tail up like this against his back. For one thing, every Slag that I've ever seen does this. It just does that. And you know what? If Slag in his robot mode is dragging his tail behind him, I'm okay with it. So, let's go ahead and we're going to take the front legs of the dinosaur and just pivot them up a little bit so that we can open up the body and create the robot wings. We're going to rotate the arms down. Actually, not yet. I'm going to flip out the fists. There's a little lever inside here. So we'll pull those forward and then flip out the fist. Well, okay, if you can get a thumbnail in there. There we go. So we'll just put that down like that, and we will open the mouth to reveal the robot face. And that is Slag. And if you can do something like that if you want to do it technically the right way. You can also adjust the position of the legs here. It's good to have them in a position where the dinosaur knee can be at the heel. That just helps give him some support when he's standing. And of course, there's that tail that can give him some support too. So let's go ahead and put him on the camera that is actually capable of focusing. There we go. And gonna adjust the view there. Snarl looks great. He really does. He's got a kick-ass robot mode. He's got, I love, but he doesn't want to stand up. I love, wait a minute here. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Oh, we do have to spread out the hips. There we go. We'll spread out the hips. And that helps. So, I love the reflective the reflective red with the reflective silver. His chest looks awesome. And his head is surrounded by that vacuum metallized gold. And you can see the reflection of my finger in that. That is amazing. And they don't make toys that look like this anymore. You have to get a masterpiece in order to get something like this. And it's kind of a lost art. You look at his profile. Even his profile looks decent. The wings are a little bit awkward. But honestly, he turns into a Triceratops and he does it well. So I'm not going to complain too much. I have seen people that will rotate the horns down like this, and the advantage of doing that is that it kind of catches the wing when it wants to go forward. I'm not really a fan of it, but you can do it. It doesn't hurt anything. So this is Gen 2 Slag, and the newer versions are called Slug. Apparently, I guess in Great Britain, slag is a derogatory term, so now they don't use it. And I certainly don't want to. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I can't. It's hard for me to reprogram my brain and think of this guy as Slug. You know, I've been raised for a long time to call him Slag, and I'm only referring to the Dinobot, or maybe leftover sludge from metal that after it's been melted and the good metal has been drained out, and then there's just this slag left over. I will use the word in that sense, and only those cases. That's the more you know section of Retrobot. So yeah, Gen 2 Slag looks great. He also was available in original color and a second color. I don't remember what that second color is. I want to say that it was red, but I'm not 100% sure. So, we'll have to check on that. But yes, Gen 2 Slag. And these are the only... here, I'm going to bring out... let me just bring out our red Snarl and our blue Grimlock. So, sadly, these are the only Dinobots that were reissued for Generation 2. They did not do Swoop, and they did not do Sludge. And that's a shame. And I feel like if somebody got a hold of those molds and they released... They did a re-release of Gen 2 versions of Sludge and Swoop, I would buy the shit out of that. So, do you remember what the second version of Gen 2 Slag, the color was? Red? Was it red like this? Okay, so it's probably red like this. So, yeah, I feel like we have, we obviously have two versions of Snarl, and my original version, which I guess, okay, we've got three versions of Snarl, one of which is in serious need of some help. I feel like we've got the best version of Slag and probably the best version of Grimlock, and so these are the Gen 2 Dinobots, and they are really, really cool. Oh, and Dudley's getting up. He's tired of my shenanigans. How you doing, buddy? Are you just repositioning, or are you leaving? He's leaving. Okay. Dudley is now gone, and as sad as that makes me, because I love having Dudley on my lap, it is nice to have blood flowing through my leg again. So, there's a little give and take. Give a cat a place on your lap, take circulation away from your femoral artery. So, let's go ahead and let's move forward just a bit in the Transformers timeline. And let's move on to Beast Wars. So, this is the 10th anniversary reissue of Dinobot. And as you can see, I have signatures, and wait a minute here. I had like, okay, so I've got Scott McNeil's autograph on here. Let me see if I can recognize. Okay, so I think that this is Scott McNeil, and then, oh wait, no, that might not be Scott. We've got David Sobolov right here, and he was the voice of Depth Charge, and who else was he the voice of? Okay, I think that was just Depth Charge, and then we also have, I think that this is Venus Terzo, who voiced Black Arachnia, and then this. That's a squiggle with another, like a that is like a round squiggle with a jaggedy squiggle, and oh, Scott was Dinobot. Oh, okay. Maybe that's Scott. I that doesn't look like an S. I have no I don't remember who's. Let's see. It can't be. I think that this is Venus. This is David because I can actually read it, and then this one's Scott. So this one's Scott. Or do you think this is Venus? Oh, that's Scott.
Heart.
Oh, Heart. Venus. Got it. This is Venus. This is Scott. Okay, we have figured things out. I got these at Iacon 1 because my beautiful, loving wife was determined to win an auction, and it was an epic moment. I cannot lie. This was an absolutely epic moment because, of course, these were the big item for the auction, and that convention was kind of underattended. You know, it ended up being small, even though they had they had Bob Budiansky, and they had oh wait here, I just had it. They also had Don Figura. I can't say his name, and I apologize. I think it's because I've said beast mode one too many times. Haha! I beat the music. So they had Don Figura, Bob Budiansky, and then they had 3 of the main actors from Beast Wars there as guests. And unfortunately, it just didn't have a whole lot of people. So when they had this auction, these should have gone, like, it was the entire set, and they were all signed. And I remember you just, like, bidding started, and then it got up to I don't even remember what it was, and you just kept going, and you kind of intimidated everybody, and outbid, and we got these, and we couldn't really afford them at the time, but it didn't matter because we got them, and we survived, so we didn't starve, and so at that point, you know, sure, we might have missed a few meals, but we've still got these, and that's what's important. We got our toys. So, yeah, now this is opened, because we took out the parts of the transmutate, and we actually assembled the transmutate, and I'm going to attempt to open this box without damaging it. So, Amanda Makeo was just asking, Clay, what do you think about the Cybertron Kingdom previews? Oh, okay, so, I'll be honest, I haven't watched the previews yet of the new Netflix... Oh, wait. Oh, the preview toys. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about, I've seen some screenshots from the proposed Kingdom series. I have not, I have seen some preview images of the toys, and they look very promising. Now, that being said, the quality on the original Beast Wars toys was pretty darn good. Are they going to be better than the original Beast Wars toys? I don't know. I know that when they recently did an homage to Cybertron Optimus Prime, it was not as good as the original. When they did an homage to Power Master Optimus Prime, it was also not really as good as the original. More posable, and it had a better looking head sculpt, but overall, just not as well done. So, the Power of the Primes Optimus Primal was really good. Was it better than Optimal Optimus? No. No, it was not better, but it was really, really good. So I'm hopeful of the new Kingdom toys. I will certainly collect them. And when I collect them, I will put them on this channel so everybody can see them, and I will let you know what I think. But right now, Beast Wars was awesome. And I'm going to make a confession. Some people on this channel already know this about me, but when I was younger and Beast Wars was first out, I was one of the truck not monkey guys. It's true. I took one look at Beast Wars and I was like, Optimus as a gorilla? Oh, that doesn't make sense. Why is he a gorilla? I hadn't seen King Kong. Well, okay, I had when I was a little kid, but it was the 1980-something version that doesn't have King Kong versus Tyrannosaurus. And so I didn't understand the pairing of giant gorilla versus Tyrannosaurus. And I didn't have I just didn't really think much about it. I had seen like one episode that was out of continuity and I wasn't all that impressed, and so I just didn't appreciate it until years later when I actually sat down and watched the series, and then I got interested in the toys. And then once I got interested in the toys and we realized that it was actually cool, Monica for Christmas, this was back when you could get old Transformers on eBay for nothing. You know, people would sell lots of 30 Transformers for $20 or for $30 or something like that. And she bought like a bunch of lots. I don't know how many lots. How many lots did you buy? Like 3 or 5? 3? 4? Okay, because she keeps holding up her hand really fast. I can't tell how many fingers are up. But so 4 different lots. And out of that 4 different lots, I had like almost the whole Beast Wars line, which was massive. It was massive. And these are such... And also, Machiavellic says hi. Oh, okay, so you know Machiavellic. Well, a toast to Machiavellic. So, please tell Machiavellic that I said hi back, and we miss him. We look forward to the next time we see him on a live stream. So, let me go ahead. I'm going to move this very carefully out of the way. And we will untie him. There we go. And we will pull Dinobot. So this, of course, is the 10th anniversary reissue, which is a recolor. It is not done in the original toy colors. Rather, they have recolored it to look more like the TV show, and he does look really good. He is a really nice toy, and I've seen pictures of the original version, and it has like translucent plastic on, like bright orange on the legs and stuff, and I have to say that this version is the better version. So now one thing that I will just point out right away, this is not subtle. This is not subtle. That's a pair of robot legs that are folded up and not even conspicuously folded up. They're just those are robot feet. Those are robot feet right there. Either that or this Velociraptor has... Well, he's more of a Utah Raptor if we're going to be technical about it. Jurassic Park taught us the wrong things about dinosaurs. And this would be a Utah Raptor. And I think that maybe this one has tumors growing under his skin. Yeah, that's right, Dudley. He has tumors. Nonetheless, still a really excellent toy. you have to ignore the feet in the front. You just have to accept that they're there and ignore the feet. Most of the Beast Wars toys were more convincing than original Dinobot, but considering that this came after Transformers Generation 2, which was mostly made up of reused molds from Generation 1. Not a whole lot of new toys came out of the Generation 2 line. And Beast Wars changed the game. Beast Wars changed the industry. With Beast Wars, they realized that they could make fully posable, fully articulated, transforming toys that when they were in robot mode, they weren't just stiff robots with some firing guns or some gimmicks. They turned them into action figures. Action figures in the sense of figures that could take on dynamic poses, that could be played with. And what's great about these toys is even in their beast modes, a lot of these are posable as well. So you've got Dinobot, and he can bite, he can slash, he can jump. He's just a really cool toy. Let's go ahead and look at him on the side camera. And yeah, you know what? Mazenfur was just saying he's buff. Maybe these are pecs. Maybe he's just, he's been lifting weights and he's got some super awesome pecs and he's just a really buff dinosaur. Now he does have the spinny tail thing, which the gimmick is intended for when his tail is a weapon, but you can actually spin it right here, and not only can you can spin it for reasons, you can also use it in case you have a cavity and don't have dental insurance, and then all you do is you just go like this, and you drill into your tooth, just like that. There you go. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's later. Oh, that molar feels so much better now that I've drilled out that cavity. And then I'm just going to, I don't have anything to use as a filling, so I'm just going to use some super glue. And there we go. And now I've filled its cavity. Don't take dental advice from me. I'm just going to tell you right now, don't take dental advice from me. It's a mistake. I should not be trusted. I am an unreliable narrator. So, let's go ahead and go back to the side camera, and we will look at Dinobot with his huge dino pecs. And like I said, this is the 10th anniversary reissue. It is not done in the original paint scheme. Rather, it is done to look like the TV show, and he does look fantastic. He really does. He's got a Maximal symbol here. Even though Dinobot in the show started out as a Predacon, and then he kind of turned against Megatron, and he was easily the most interesting character on the show. Dinobot, Beast Wars Dinobot, may be one of the most interesting Transformers characters of all time, because he had such a rich and developed character and a character arc, and he betrayed Megatron because he believed that Megatron was wrong about what planet that they were on, and that he was a fool, and so he wanted to take his place as leader, but he couldn't, so he decided to join the Maximals, not because he believed in the Maximal cause, but because of his rivalry against Beast Wars Megatron, and then through his experiences with the Maximals and fighting for the pre-humans in that show and standing up for the weak, and he already had this strong sense of honor. he developed, he grew, and then after he realized that Megatron actually was right, he had a real conflict. Because at that point, it's like, okay, all the reasons that I betrayed Megatron in the first place were wrong. Do I go back and try to be part of his glory, or do I continue down this road that I didn't intend to be on in the first place? And he was conflicted, and in the end, he died for what he believed in. And boy, it was so good. So good. Oh my gosh. So, anyway, Machiavellic, is Machiavellic here? Amanda says that Machiavellic says, did you ever think it's weird that by the time of Beast Wars Dinobot is a singular name, it went from being a team title to being a single character's name, as it makes sense as a single character name being dubbed Autobot or Decepticon? Yes! And let me tell you, back in the day, when I was a truck not monkey guy, the idea that this guy was named Dinobot, to me was like, that's not Dinobot! The Dinobots are a group! This isn't Dinobot! And really, the most likely thing was that Hasbro was trying to keep the IP. It had been quite a few years since they had made any Dinobot toys at that point, and in order to hold on to your copyrights, you need to continue using them. So he was probably named Dinobot so that they could hold on to Dinobot. And Mason Fur says, more than meets the eye teeth. Thank you, mate. You know what? A toast to Mason Fur. That's very good. More than meets the eye teeth. So let's go ahead and transform him out of his dubious raptor mode. And I'm going to take the tail off. Now, this is one thing that I do not like. I'm just going to own it. One of the challenges in any beast mode, said it. Okay, and I'm going to take another because I'm going to say it again. So, one of the challenges in designing a transforming robot toy that turns into some kind of beast mode, I already drank for it, is dealing with the unusual geometry of a living organism. And that's what makes it cool. When you just say, okay, I'm going to take off the tail and use it as a weapon, I feel like that's a cheat. That's a little bit of a cheat. Because you're not dealing with the geometry. Now, every now and then you'll see one where you can remove the tail, but you don't have to make it transform. I'm perfectly okay with that. Although, what I don't like is if the transformer or the owner of the toy loses the weapon, now your raptor is missing something really noticeable. And I'm gonna show you an example of that in just a minute. But so
Ice Bear's tired of staring at this guy's butt.
Ice Bear has not even begun to stare at this guy's butt. Okay, so look, that is a butthole right there. You know what, Ice Bear, you asked for it. We are staring at a butthole. That is a butthole. Yes, very nice. So that right there, you cannot get more of a hole and more of a butt than that butthole. So yes, that's his butthole. Anyway, so let's get off of this. I don't know what I'm doing. I've had a lot to drink already, and I'm a lightweight. I don't drink very much. Just so that you know, these live streams are pretty much the only time that I drink. I don't drink through the week. I don't even drink at social occasions because for the most part I don't even like it. But I get on camera, and then I have a secret word, and I have people that I have to toast, and then I say beast mode, and now I have to drink again. And my head turns red. Where was I? Oh yeah. So let's flip up his butthole, and then we're gonna rotate the legs up, and we're gonna flip the feet. And he has little heels tucked into his feet. This is something that I've seen referred to as a claw foot, and usually when people talk about claw foot designs, they kind of seem to not like it. I'm gonna have to use a little tool to get in there. I'm gonna have to use a different tool to get in there. Okay, don't do this at home. Okay, this is bad. I'm using an X-Acto as a pry tool, and you should never ever do that because these blades are thin, and if it breaks, it could break off, and then it'll shoot off in a direction which will be my eye. You know what? You're right. I'm going to do it the right way. I'm not going to pry with an X-Acto. My wife has saved me from making a terrible mistake. This is a pick tool. This is used for that purpose. This is the right tool for the job. So that's where Shipwreck should have come in and told me not to do that. So there we go. Okay, so there we go. We get the other half of the foot. See, I've kept these guys in the box for a long time because they're beautiful display pieces, and now the joints are really tight. So, there we go. We have...
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
So, there we go. We have robot legs, robot feet. We're going to turn them around so that they face forward. We are going to rotate the body segments up like this. Just like that. And then we're going to take the raptor head, and we are going to actually wait here. This is kind of janky how it does this. It has to rotate forward, and the robot head comes out the back because there's this little panel here. And now the raptor head is on his chest. And honestly, when you've got a dinosaur head on your chest, that's always good. Okay? It doesn't matter if it's in the way. You've got a dinosaur head as a chest adornment, and that's great design. That's never a bad thing. So, we rotate the raptor head forward, and we tuck it as much against the chest as you can. It doesn't really go very flat against the chest. That's okay. That's okay. And then you open up the battle mask to reveal the robot head, and then we're going to rotate these legs around and collapse the claws to give him, you know, kind of a robot claw. It's still a raptor claw, but he's using it like a hand, which you know what, I'm okay with that. So here he is. From what I understand, many people would just take off these battle mask things because they weren't used in the show for budget reasons. Oh, geez. You know, this is only my second glass. I am such a lightweight, and I'm already slurring my words. So that's. And then you've got this. You've got the tail piece, which splits like this, and then you can take this out, and this is his sword, and he can hold his sword right there like that, and then he can hold this as don't squeeze the claw. The claw will eject it with some force. So I did it again. So we've got, okay, here we go. I'm going to do it slowly. I put it into the little hole in the palm of the hand, and then I will okay, that's all it doesn't close against it. That was my mistake. I keep squeezing this so that he can look like he's grasping it. That's a mistake, because when that happens, it goes like that. And that's not even an intended play feature, but it's actually pretty cool. So, yeah, if you want to launch this like a missile at your sister, then that's the way that you do it. So we're going to stick that in there and just do that. And now you can go, wait here, let me get the sword out of the way. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So, as if being a robot velociraptor wasn't enough, or Utah Raptor, which is more accurate, he's also got this spinning death blade of carnage that he holds, and he can either use to chop up his enemies or make a very tasty salad. Because it's a little known fact that Dinobot is actually a vegetarian. That's not true. I made that up. That's not true. Machiavellic says, in my opinion, Dinobot is the Snake Eyes of Beast Wars. That is a very astute observation. You are very right, Machiavellic. Dinobot is the Snake Eyes of Beast Wars. He is the character that everybody wants to know more about, and any scene with Dinobot is made better because Dinobot. So, yes. Now, I will say that if I wanted to, I could leave this plugged in to his butt plate and just have it folded up against his back. And then he is still a robot. And that's not bad. That is not bad. And I love that they have the weapon storage built into these figures. That's what Beast Wars did for Transformers. That's what Beast Wars did for the toy industry. They said, hey, it's all well and good to have a toy that transforms from a robot into a beast mode. I said it again. So, sure, it's great to have a toy that transforms from one mode to another. And I'm just going to adjust my light so that you can see his face a little bit better. There we go. Yeah, that's a little bit better. But why not have full posability? Why not have knee joints and leg joints that work? Why not have weapon storage in the figure? And that's what Beast Wars did for us. Because before Beast Wars, we did not have that. Sure, there were a few Cyberjets at the end of Generation 2 that had some really cool posability and some stuff like that. And there may have been a couple other toys that had these, but Beast Wars made those things into part of their aesthetic. And look at that. See, now that folds up flat, and he really does look good. This is a cool toy. Now you can take these raptor arms and you can put them up here, and that actually looks a little bit better. So yeah, we'll get those up there. This recolor is a beautiful version of this toy, and I'm so glad to have it. My wife is the most wonderful wife that anybody could ask for, and I'm the luckiest guy alive. And I'm sure that there's some of you that have great spouses, and they may be great, but did your spouse get you an autographed 10th anniversary Dinobot? Probably not. So yeah, I'm sorry, I win. So that's Dinobot. He looks great, but there are better versions of Dinobot out there. Oh yes, there are. And let's take a look at that, at least in my opinion. IMO in the internet speak. See, I'm learning. I can speak internet. No, I can't. I really can't. For those who don't know, I suck at the internet. I really don't. There's abbreviations for everything, and I don't know what any of them mean. Monica has to translate for me, and when it comes to social media, yeah, right. I don't get it. Lots of people will do Facebook and Twitter on purpose, like for fun. I don't understand. For me, it's work. It's so much work that I forced my poor wife to do it for me. So, thank you, wife. I love you. So, anyway, Dinobot. He looks great. He's a great figure. He is a great character. If you have not watched the original Beast Wars series, immediately following this live stream, watch it. Get it. Stream it. Download it illegally. Buy it on DVD. I don't care what you have to do, but you are missing out on an amazing storytelling experience. You need to see Beast Wars. And so, anyway, but Dinobot. Great. We're going to set him aside, and maybe we can get him to stand up in the background here. There we go. So, and let's go ahead and bring out Transmetal's Dinobot. This is a special toy. This is a special toy because he's just... If there is a legacy created, this is where that legacy picks up and continues. And no, it's not done in the Gen 1 style. It's not even done close to the Gen 1 style. He is as far removed from Gen 1 Grimlock as you can get. But nonetheless, this is an amazing toy. It's a beautiful toy. And this one, of course, all of mine are secondhand, so they have their signs of wear. But and this one's showing some yellowing. But even with yellowing and even with some paint scuffs, he's great. He's gorgeous. Savage Shark says, this Dinobot version is freaking epic. And you are so right, Savage Shark. A toast to Savage Shark for your astute commentary. So yeah, let's go ahead to the side camera and really look at this. Look at the detail that they molded into this. And this is such a fantastic form for him. Now, in the story, this is a clone of the original Dinobot, who at this point in the story had died heroically and tragically, saving some proto-humans and finally committing to where his loyalties lied, only to really extol them in his dying breath. So he is very he's pretty posable in his dinosaur mode. Not super posable, but posable enough. He's got a lot of play value. He's got joints in his appendages. He's got the raptor claws that you can move around, and you can even sort of move that down. It doesn't move down a lot because they've got this cable thing here that connects it to this piece here, which is a very cool aesthetic, but it does make it hard to move this around. And there's also that little nub there, which stops it from rotating further. But even if that nub weren't there, just the presence of this piece would prevent it from going too much further. He's got a mouth that opens and closes. And if you look inside the mouth, he's got an alien's proboscis. Look at that! That's freaking awesome! It's horrifying. I don't know why it's there. There's a story there, and whatever the story is, I don't want to know it. But that's fantastic. His head can pivot back and forth like this. Of course, he can close his mouth. He's got a flexible tail. I love this tail. This tail is fantastic. And it also has this swoosh feature that by rotating this, it swooshes back and forth. That's really awesome. That's fantastic. And of course, he's got these vacuum metallized metal bits that look great. Once again, hey, toy manufacturers, let's start doing this again. It's 2020. I feel like we can recapture this technology and do it in a safe way. Yeah, I know. I've heard that the plastic used for this is brittle and can break, but you know, I feel like the world is ready to solve this and to get it back. We need to take it back. That's what we need. We're taking it back. So yeah, and Masonfer was just commenting that he was hooked because the evil Decepticons on the Transformers Victory series had dinosaur bat modes. Oh, okay. Well, you can't beat dinosaur and bat modes. And dinosaur and bat modes? I mean, like, that's like Robots in Disguise, aka Car Robots Megatron. He had a gargoyle mode. And it was actually a really cool gargoyle mode. I don't think that there are any other gargoyle Transformers out there. You have Optimus Primal as a bat, which I never quite understood. You know, that's... Yeah. Oh, no! Mind Wipe, the Gen 1 Headmaster was... And Ratbat. I think that we have named all of the bat Transformers that come to mind. So there we go. Bats and dinosaurs. Select Converters had a bat. I don't remember the bat. It was cool. Converters. In not too long, we recently got the little gun guy that sort of looks like Megatron. So that's going to be happening. So anyway, we've got... Kyoji says, FYI, Beast Wars is up on Tubi. Oh! Ooh, okay. Everybody... Now, wait, don't leave yet. But as soon as you're done here, just call off work for tomorrow. And what you have to do is you have to sound really, really sick and tired. Or if you have a spouse, make them call off for you. But if you have to do it yourself, you go, oh, I don't feel very good. I can't make it into work. And then you just binge watch Beast Wars. And it's worth it. So, I'm getting some jumping and lag on my end. Not sure if it's affecting the others. Oh, okay. I hope that let me know if you guys are seeing lag, because Monica on her end is seeing some lag and jumpiness. I hope that we're not. So, I'm going to continue until then. So, we've got Transmetal's Dinobot. He is fantastic. He looks great. All the vacuum metallized parts look awesome. The flexible tail looks awesome. The spine. The fact that he's sort of cyber-skeletally looking is a fantastic design motif for him. And his transform is not that difficult. We are going to, trying to remember where to start with this guy. So we're going to flip out the hip pieces of the Raptor. So I'm going to flip those out, and then we're going to pull the legs out to the side. We are going to extend the claws down to create robot legs. And then we're going to pull down the head of, the head and neck of the Raptor, and that's going to reveal the robot head, which, by the way, has a really cool head sculpt. We're going to pivot that back just a little bit. We're going to rotate. So there's a panel here, right here in the butt, and this is where, once you lift that panel up, you can rotate the sides of the body around like this. And we need to kind of get these out of the way. You get the legs out of the way and you rotate them around like that, and rotate it around past these legs here, things that used to be forward claws. And now the head is actually on a little bit of a slide. You see how it does that? So you're going to slide it up and you're going to rotate the whole thing down to reveal the robot head and get it into position. And tuck that down. And then this part we're going to pivot back. We're going to keep his head forward, and then we're going to close. So there's a little hole back here. You see that hole? That is going to engage this post right here. And we're going to make sure that these side panels are out of the way, and we're going to close that up. And that's going to hold the head in position securely, and with it the dinosaur head, which becomes the chest. Because like I said, when you've got a dinosaur chest, like a dinosaur head as your chest, that's awesome. And now we can rotate the raptor legs and they turn into robot arms. And then there are these little panels right here that flip inwards and kind of tuck up against the sides of the raptor head, which I feel like the raptor head needs to go up just a little bit further. There we go. Okay. And we're going to take the back half of the body and close it up here, and then we're going to just let that go there. Now we can have these go down here. And one thing with Beast Wars figures is they're very fidgety in the sense of you kind of have to finesse them. So now we have these side panels and they lock against this back panel. You do that on both sides. You have these things up to make the shoulders. You're going to rotate these around and then bring these forward to create a hand claw thing. Just like that. And so now he has arm claws, and there. Okay, now his head is in position, and he has this little panel on his head that reveals his spark chamber. I think that's his spark chamber. And that's just a nice little feature. And let's go ahead and show him on the other camera. So that is Dinobot, and he does look great, and he looks mean. You know, he is like an evil mutant clone of the original Dinobot, yet in the end he does learn honor once again, and once again he betrays Megatron, and it's kind of epic and amazing. And see, then he's got this tail, which the tail does come off, so you can take the tail off just like the original, and you can turn it into a weapon, and I think that he can hold it somehow. To be honest, I'm not sure how he holds it. I don't see a handle, and I don't see a hole, but it seems like you should be able to do that. I just never do. I never take off the tail, and now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, well, what do you do? Oh, you know what? Maybe it goes into... No, I have no idea what you do with this. So it comes off, but it also stays back on just like that. And we're just going to pretend that I never did that, and that, yeah, that's like that. So that is Dinobot, Transmetal's Dinobot. He looks great. Of course, he's got full articulation. He can get into cool poses. I really love that in his transform, the legs of the raptor become the arms of the robot and vice versa. That is pretty damn cool. And I love the tail. Yeah, I'm totally digging the tail that stays on him, because for one thing, it helps him stand up. He's got some dynamic proportions here, and I think it would be very hard to balance him if he didn't have that tail to add a third point of support for him. So that is pretty cool. This is an excellent toy, and I have a couple versions, and all of them are used. All of them have been in kind of rough shape, and it doesn't matter because this toy is awesome even when he's kind of beat up. So, so Ty Guy says that he has gripped the tail in the claws. So let's go ahead and try that. I'm going to switch cameras. No, not that one. Okay, so let's see if, you know, what would be cool. I'm gonna try and do a thing here. So maybe if we do no. There's sort of like that. Oh no, not like that. Not like that. It seems like there should be a way to do this. There should be a way to do this. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. This is like rubber and floppy. So here's what we're gonna do. Yeah, there it is. He can beat you with his tail, and he can just be like funk, 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 and there, and that's what Transmetal's Dinobot. I'm not really comfortable with that. I'm sorry, Transmetal's Dinobot. I have done you wrong. So I'm just gonna put the tail back on. Let's just pretend that the last 5 minutes didn't happen. Okay, you know what? You guys were getting a sandwich, and I was getting more wine. Beast mode, yeah. So let's of course take a look at Rapticon. Oh yeah, Rapticlaw. Where the hell did I get that? Oh, I'm sorry. It's the dessert wine. I'm a lightweight. I'm sorry. Now you realize that if I like went to a bar and you saw me and you managed to get me to drink two drinks, that's what it takes to turn me stupid. Now, granted that it's not a long distance to travel, but nonetheless, 2 drinks is not that much to get there. So, anyway, we've got Dinobot. Let's get Rapticlaw. Rapticlaw is very, very cool. Rapticon. Jeez, I keep saying. What? Oh, you want Dinobot? Okay. So, I'm getting messages from my director. So, So let's go ahead and take a look at Rapticon. See, I got it right. Rapticon is so cool. He reminds me so much of Cryotech. The colors, the blues and the greens and the silvery bits, he just looks fantastic. But when I got this Rapticon, he was incomplete. And guess which part was missing? It was the tail. It had no tail. And so, me being me, of course, a toy this awesome couldn't go without a tail. And during this time, you could go to Big Lots and you could get these unbranded knockoffs of Transmetal's 2 Megatron, the Dragon mode. And yes. So this is Cryotech. Cryotech is an amazing toy. He is so cool. And the blue and the translucent blues and everything about him. I mean, the original Dragon Megatron was epic. One of the greatest toys possibly ever made. And then they did it in blue and made it better. So you could go to Big Lots and you could get cheap knockoffs of this exact mold done in blue and green and red. There were a lot of red, but I did see like this kind of dull green version and a blue version. And of course I bought every one because, I mean, it's even the cheap knockoff version was still really cool. It looked like this. Yes, it didn't have as many details. Some of the parts were fused, and it was obviously cheaper plastic. But it was still this. It was cool. So yes. Okay. So here this is one of those green. This is a knockoff that we got. I want to say that this was $10 at Big Lots, and Big Lots is not nearly as cool as it used to be because you can't get stuff like this there now. But back in the day, you could. Look at this. This is fantastic. This is such a cool toy. And so I actually got a couple of these, and I got one that was kind of a blue-green. Actually, it was this one. No, I got a couple of this one. And so what I did was I took the tail off of one of these. You see? You see the tail on him? Well, I took that same tail and then I lightly dusted it with a little bit of blue spray paint. And then I added, wait here, I'll show you. So I got a little bit, I used Alumilite and poured a little bit of Alumilite in there, and then this is the end of a pen. You can see that's like a pen. Let's see. Hello, camera. Focus. Nope. It's not gonna focus. It's not gonna focus. Here, I'll go to the other camera. So you can see that I have. That's just the end of a red pen, and because it was the perfect diameter to fit into the hole here. And I used a little bit of Alumilite to fill in the gap and fit it in there. And then I had to add some super glue recently. And unfortunately, I got the Alumilite on the edge here. So that's kind of a permanent part of that. But now this just plugs into the back there. And Rapticon now has a tail. So, yeah, now when you look at it, you can, after realizing that it's not the same, you can see that there's a little bit of a color difference. But, oh, you did it! Oh, well, okay. It goes in the toe claw thing. Okay, so, here we, oh, damn. Here. So, what you're not seeing is that Monica figured out how to make the tail hold. You put it in the toe claw here, and then you have the nub there, and you go like that, and then he holds. Not very well, though. Not very well. So, yeah, you can get him to hold the tail weapon, and I'm just going to stick it back there because this works better, and then he can stand up. So, I'm going to set this over here, and we've got Big Lots Cryotechatron. I don't know what this guy would be. He's Green Dragon Megatron. And we'll set that over there, and then we'll go back to Rapticon with a Big Lots Green Dragon Megatron tail. And personally, I think it looks good. I am so happy to have a tail. No, it doesn't have the swooshy feature, but it's funny because when Monica was pulling out this toy, she was like, "Oh, I didn't realize that he's not a direct repaint. He's got a different tail than the original." And it's like, no, that's not reality. That's clay bashing. And I put a tail on there so that he would have a tail. And I like it. I think that it works with him. So, yes, that is Rapticon. And he is very, very cool. I am so happy to have this toy. And I don't even care that he was missing the tail. Because I got a tail. It's right there. It's a Green Dragon Megatron tail. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and transform him just because transforming Transformers is fun. And so, do I remember how I just did that? I have no idea. I'm going to just start messing with stuff until pieces kind of turn into stuff. And see, look, I've already messed with stuff and made it sort of turn into something. Oh, look, I made the legs turn into something. And then I swing the side panels around and that turns into something. And then I open this back and I flip the head down. Now I'm starting to remember what I was supposed to do here. Okay, there we go. See, the last time I had a hard time getting the head to come up all the way, and this time it went up as far as it's supposed to. So that's good. And then we're going to open that door and flip that way, and now we swing these up like that, and we flip in the little doors. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, my little pen part broke, so I'm going to have to fix that later. I shouldn't have been holding it by the tail. That was a mistake. So I'm gonna flip in that little side piece, and yeah, what I should have been done is I should have taken this forward and then flipped out that little side piece and then done this, and that's better. So you see, I broke my little pen part off. I'll just glue it back on. It'll be fine, I promise. So now we've got Rapticon. We'll adjust the claws so that he has sort of hands. And that is him minus his tail because I broke the tail. And we'll go over here and look at that. He looks great. Looks just great. What a cool color scheme. What a cool design. This is just an epic figure. I love him. I absolutely love him. And that face sculpt, I mean, even more than the original, his face is even more menacing looking in these colors. And it really brings out the details that they molded in there. And you look at those arms, you look at the joints, you look at the cables, you look at the sort of iridescent blues and the metallic blue-grays combined with the greens and this sort of airbrushed effect right here. It's just a beautiful, beautiful toy, and that's where my pen broke. My pen broke, so I'll have to fix the pen. And then we've got the same beauty on the other side here. He's just a phenomenal toy, absolutely phenomenal. I know that when I got this, his joints were a little bit loosey-goosey. So a technique that I often use when I have Transformers toys with loose joints is what I'll do is I'll squirt just a little bit of super glue into the joint, and then I'll work the joint until it dries thoroughly. Now, let me just give you a warning. I have done this and then I thought it was dry and I set it down, and then the next day I pick it up and the joint is frozen solid. That's bad. That's a bad thing. If you do this, it's risky. You have to make sure that the glue is completely dry, because if it is not, it will lock that joint in place, and then you will try and work it free and you will break the joint. Please don't break your toys. I don't want you to break your toys because I told you about something that I do. So this is fair warning. It's risky if you do it, but when you have that dried glue residue in there, then it makes the joints nice and tight, and it makes them hold poses, and they can stand up, and they just feel nicer. So that is something. Do it at your own risk if you do it, but that's something that I do. So, and that's something that I did with this guy. And I can even see when I look into the joint here, let's go to the other camera. you can look into the joint and you can see that there's a little bit of white residue. That is that super glue that is dried and makes his hip joints a little bit tighter. So Entertainer 13 is here. Whoa, a toast to Entertainer 13. Yes, Entertainer 13, we were just looking at Rapticon, a repaint of Dinobot. We just looked at Dinobot a few minutes ago. This is Transmetal's Dinobot. And then we also were looking at... Oh, wait. There we go. The 10th anniversary reissue and repaint of Dinobot, which is very, very cool. So, if you missed that part, then after we're done, then rewind to this timestamp to before this timestamp and see Dinobot. So, we've got Rapticon, we've got Dinobot. We are going to look at one more pair of Transformers tonight. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're going to look at Transformers Energon, Grimlock, and Swoop. Now, these are a weird set. I'm just gonna say these are a weird set. So this is Transformers Energon Swoop, and this is his Dino mode, his pterosaur, pterodactyl-ish mode, and then we've got Grimlock here, and they are an interesting set. I'm not sure that I would say that they are a good set, but they are certainly interesting. So here we go. We've got Swoop and Grimlock, and you can tell right away when you look at these toys that they just don't seem to fit with the other Transformers in the Energon line. And yes, Grimlock is already feeling a little bit shameful. Don't be ashamed. You have coolness in your own right, but there's problems. So this set came out in 2005, I think? Yeah, 2005. And they came in a 2-pack. They were originally intended to be part of the Transformers Universe line, and when you look at them, it is obvious that everything about these guys is very, very different from the other Energon toys of that line. So this is Grimlock. No, this is Cruel Lock. This was Cruel Lock. Let's go ahead and look at Cruel Lock. So this is what we were used to from the Energon line. This is Cruel Lock. He has lots of really cool looking translucent bits. He's got a lot of detail on him. He has, when he transforms into robot, he's got bits that automatically do stuff. So when you do that, the shoulders pop out and then the head is exposed. And he's also got this tail that splits, and it has his weapons. And the nice thing is, even if you don't have the Energon sword and you don't have his gun, in Dino mode he still has a tail. So he's got his weapon storage, but the weapons don't become an integral part of the beast mode. And yes, I said it. I'll get there. Okay, so this is Cruel Lock, and he's got nice tight joints, and really good detail, and a very compelling design, and some very interesting paint decoration, a great head sculpt. he is just a neat guy. And in the beast mode, I said it twice. Oh, I said it twice. He's got an opening and closing mouth. He's got claws that are translucent. He's got his energon star, and behind the energon star, he has his Decepticon symbol that is underneath that little magnifying lens thing. He is just cool all over. This is a great little toy. And this is the quality that we came to expect from most of the Energon line. And then we have Grimlock and Swoop, which don't even look... I mean, they don't look like they belong. And the detail is much more subdued. The plastic feels cheaper. It feels waxy. And the transforms are kind of more implied. That a lot of these pieces don't have any kind of peg and hole thing where there's a definitive place for any of these joints. And yeah, this is kind of a dynamic look for Swoop. It's interesting, but it's very, very weird. It doesn't look like it belongs. His jet thruster legs don't want to stay on his back. The only thing that kind of locates them is this socket here and this nub here, and you can see that they don't really friction fit into place. They just kind of serve as a place to tell you where they go, but they don't hold them in very well. And then the body is split at the bottom to hide the robot head, but it's not really... It's kind of... You see how everything kind of moves around. It's not really locked in very well at all. And so you just have... Oh, and I guess I need to make the bird legs shorter. So there we go. We have shorter bird legs, which doesn't really help it at all. So yeah. Swoop in his beast mode. Oh, I said it a third time. I am going to be so inebriated. Let's just do this. Okay, that's 3 times. And we are getting a little bit of a refill here. This is number 3. Okay, that's 2 sips. Okay, that's 3. So yeah, these guys. Now he does have an opening beak. That's important. His beak kind of makes him look like a pelican. I'm sure that's anatomical. I don't know my pterodactyl anatomy well enough to be able to answer that. He does have ball joints on the wings, which make him very poseable, and I do like the posability of this beast mode. I know I said it again. We're gonna have to catch up later, and so I like that he's got all these joints and he can get into these different poses, and that's pretty cool. I don't like that the head just kind of pops off pretty easily because of the way that it's designed. And then you have Grimlock here, who has he's got a joint in his forearms. He's got a jaw that opens and closes. He's got a knee joint that works in Dino mode, and he can also kind of spread out his Dino legs. So he's more poseable than his Gen 1 counterpart. But then you also have this yellow here that kind of makes him look like a young child's toy. He doesn't look as advanced or as modern or as mature. I know it's hard to use the word mature when we're talking about toy design, but obviously, this toy is meant to appeal to a little bit of an older audience than this toy, and it really shows in the design, where you have all of this intricate detail and all of this really nice paint deco, and then with him you've got a lot of bland gray with some splashes of yellow, and he looks and feels a little bit like a cheap imitation. He looks like a kid's toy version of the character. He kind of looks like maybe what you'd expect from a Cyberverse line, or a GoBots, the Transformers GoBots younger audience line, and then you have Swoop here that kind of follows the same thing. They don't fit. And so these were originally, as I said, they were originally intended for the Universe line, and then through a number of things, I would love to be a fly on the wall in those meetings to know how they ended up where they were. For one thing, these were a Hasbro design instead of a Takara design. And it shows. It shows. This is what you get with Takara, and this is what you got with Hasbro. And sorry, Hasbro, this is... I'm not completely hating on this. It's just that for comparison's sake, it doesn't measure up. Now, let's go ahead and show them in robot mode. It's worth seeing the robot modes. So we extend the bird legs, and I know it's not a bird, it's a pterodactyl, but we flip up the robot head, we fold down the bird head, pterodactyl head, we bring the legs down, which they really want to come down anyway, so you're kind of doing them a favor by finally releasing them from precariously sort of pseudo-balancing on the back. And then you merge the two halves of the body, and look at how floppy these body parts are. So you snap them together at the crotch, and then you rotate these things up so that he has shoulders, and then you flip these panels down. And in neither mode do these panels positively lock to anything. They're just there. They don't positively lock to the shoulders in robot mode. They don't positively lock to the body in bird mode. They're just there. And then we have the wings, which you can do anything you want with the wings. I think that the instructions have you tuck them in the back like that, and then they are on ball joints, which is pretty cool. Entertainer 13 says, there's a universe out there where GoBots was the premier transforming toy line, and oh, Entertainer 13, I am going to toast you, because let me tell you, we love GoBots on this channel. Bring me Bugsy. Hand me Bugsy. He's right here. This is one that I just got. This is Bugsy. He is a GoBot monster. And, this is just one example of many of how GoBots did stuff that were really, really cool. Monster vehicles that turn into monstrous robots with die-cast metal and moderate posability. He's here. Let's quickly transform him. And you flip up the head, and he sort of looks like he has egg beaters for hands. But this guy is so cool. He is awesome. And this is something that Transformers just didn't do. They didn't make monster robot modes. They didn't make monster vehicle modes. They would make a robot that turns into a monster, but nothing like this. And we're going to talk about that. So yeah, GoBots, we love them. So anyway, we look at Swoop, and his robot mode isn't bad. It's fully articulated, for one thing, and that's always good. So, you know, you've got hip joints, and you've got balls at the hips, and you've got knee joints, and you've even got clickers in the knees, and you've got the arm joints, and he's got claws, which is great. You know, I love claws on a robot mode that can actually, you know, kind of grip stuff or slash stuff. His pterodactyl head doesn't collapse flat. So wait here, let me move. So you see, his pterodactyl head is just kind of hanging. It's just kind of here. It doesn't integrate into the body. And it's fine, but I wish that it conformed a little bit more. He turns into a robot, and he certainly has the form, and he has the dynamics, and I do like this robot mode. This is a decent robot mode, but things are a little bit ambiguous. And it doesn't fit in with the rest of the Energon line. Let's go ahead and look at Grimlock here. So we have Grimlock, you know, and I guess we should show Swoop's robot mode in all of its glory, because it's not bad. You know, it's not like it's a bad head sculpt. It actually looks very nice, and the posability is very nice, and the wings are awesome. I will say that the wings are awesome on this toy. And you know, you can spread them out, and they're very angular and dynamic. I mean, he looks badass, but the cheap feeling plastic and the ambiguous kind of you know, the fact that the bird head is so far out and doesn't lie flat against the rest of the robot body. It just bothers me. It seems not quite finished, and that's what kind of bothers me about this toy. Now let me move him back out of the way. We'll look at Grimlock, who's struggling to stand up. He makes for a very unimpressive Tyrannosaurus. Whereas previous versions of Grimlock tend to make him look like more of a mechanical monster. You know, like you have Gen 1 Grimlock here, and he looks like a tank in a Tyrannosaurus's body. This Grimlock looks like your 3-year-old dropped it out of their car seat. And yes, this version has more posability, which is great. I'm always a fan of posability, but this dull plastic versus the sheen on this gray and these gold parts, I mean, there's no contest. Let's see. Entertainer 13 says, die-cast construction, it's a lost art. You know what? A toast to Entertainer 13 for an excellent Beast Wars reference. And Amanda McKayo says, this is bad comedy. And I wish that I could disintegrate Starscream right now. So, oh, and Tracy is here. Oh my gosh, Tracy is here. A toast to Tracy. Thank you for showing up. We're getting close to the end, so I'm sorry you missed most of it. But thank you for coming. Everybody say hi to Tracy and thank her for showing up so that she'll show up more often, because she oftentimes misses these. And hopefully Selena's here and tell her that I said hello. So anyway, getting back to Grimlock versus Grimlock. Honestly, is there really any contest? This is no substitute for the Gen 1 toy. It's a nice try, but the gray is uninspired. The yellow, no, just no. The red, I don't get it. The aesthetics are not good. The feel of the toy is really not very good. Let's go ahead and transform him into robot mode. We've seen the Dino mode. This is it. It's not a terrible Dino mode, but it's certainly not a very awe-inspiring Dino mode. He transforms very similarly to the Gen 1 original. So we're going to flip these up. We're going to, now instead of having that Dino body that splits and becomes wings, we have the whole Dino head assembly that comes and turns into the back. We're going to split the tail, and then we're going to flip the lower half of the body around here. And now we do this, and we have Grimlock. This is Grimlock. Instead of having nice metallic gold, he has Duplo yellow. Instead of having intricately sculpted detail, we have safety smooth. Everything about we have to wait here. Let's slide the arms up. There we go. So and what's up with these fists? Those aren't even fists. That's just that ain't nothing. That is a piece of plastic with a hole in it. Kyoji says it looks like Play School, and Kyoji, you are right. This looks like a Play School incarnation of Grimlock. It doesn't look like the badass bot that it's supposed to represent, and it was originally intended to be a version of Gen 1 Grimlock. And while I appreciate the homage, it's not there. It's just not there. It's very, very bland in terms of detail. It's subdued in texture. The colors are really uninspired. The colors really make it look like Play School. The fists, the detail's just not there. And then you've got this huge dino head on the back. I mean, that's some serious back kibble right there. And then you have these hollow tail pieces. He comes off looking and feeling cheap. The bio on him says that he's armed to the teeth. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I think that, wait here, we can open these. Okay. So there, I did it wrong. There. That's better. That's a little better. The bio says that he is armed to the teeth, but he is incapable of holding the Energon weapons because I guess the fists aren't compatible with the 5mm peg. Let's test that. Do we have we have Krulok's Energon sword here, and you are right. Yeah, these holes are not big enough to hold a 5mm weapon. So he's released in Energon. Energon's whole shtick is these Energon weapons, which can be used by any character. His bio says that he's armed to the teeth, yet he comes with no weapons and can't use the weapons that were made for the series that he was released in. He is just kind of a mess Yeah, he just does not fit in the line that he was released in. And honestly, he doesn't even really fit in the universe line. He's... I hate to say it, but he's just not a very good version of Grimlock. He's arguably better than Pretender Classic Grimlock. You don't have to take off the tail to transform him. And he doesn't look like a fat human. So he is better than Pretender Classic Grimlock, but he's not the best. But what I will say is that this version of Grimlock and Swoop, unlike the original versions, they combine. That's right. This is a combiner team. They transform into Mega Dinobot, and we're going to try and make that happen. And do you hear the confidence in my voice after I'm 2.5 glasses of my parents' delicious high volume per whatever alcohol rating of Beast Mode? So we gotta transform him into legs, and we're gonna split these, and we're going to flip the wings up like this, and then we're going to tuck. I don't know. We tuck something, and then okay. So Monica's made some put some pictures up there. We're gonna put the head down between his legs, and then we're going to put the beak down to cover the head, and then we're going to set those aside, and we're going to put the arms down like this. So we've got legs, and we've got a robot face for a butt, and that's apparently important for a combiner. You know what, since his face is covered by the robot beak, let's just spin it around so now you don't see robot face in his ass. So now Grimlock goes through some stuff here. We split Grimlock's body like that. We have the whole head assembly that collapses over top of Grimlock's head. We take these claws, we go like that, and then we flip that open, and now we expose the head of Mega Dinobot. We rotate the arms around, and what I like to do is I like to tuck in the fist, because in my imagination, Mega Dinobot has claw hands, and then these just kind of pop off, because of course they do. Let's just take those and pull them out of the way. So there we go. And now we take this little piece. This little piece is important. This little piece folds down underneath, and it goes like that. So you see that. And then, we also have to transform the lower half, Grimlock's legs, essentially. And then we turn them into dinosaur body halves that create sort of wings for Mega Dinobot. So this is Mega Dinobot's upper body, and then with this little clip, that clip fits down on top of Swoop, and it connects, and now we take the wings. Okay, so what we're going to do with the wings, we're going to rotate them around like this. Or actually, no, I'm going to rotate them around until they pop off. And here, we're going to do this. And now I'm going to take that piece and I'm going to rotate the wings with it as I kind of make it go up. And you see how it collapses, it kind of locks against that little plastic nub that sticks out of the back of Grimlock's back. And then what I like to do, this is not in the instructions, but what I like to do is I like to take these little side panels that don't lock into anywhere in Swoop's robot mode or his beast mode. I know I said it again. There we go. I like to put them up against Grimlock's body where they continue to not lock into anything. And then I take the Swoop arms, because Mega Dinobot has 4 arms. He sort of reminds me of Voltron 2. Voltron 2 was the one that was Gladiator Voltron, right? Because Voltron 3 was Lion and Voltron 1 was Vehicle. So yes, it sort of reminds me a little bit of Voltron 2. And so you have this combined form where now he's got 4 arms with claws and legs and 2 sets of wings. And that is Mega Dinobot. Let's go ahead and show him on the other. It's like a biblically accurate angel. So, did angels have 4 arms? Oh wow. Angels are kind of horrific. That's not what Victorian art taught us. They're supposed to look like really pretty people with bird wings. Don't. Okay. I'm just going to give everybody a warning right now. The phrase biblically accurate angel, never ever type that into Google image search. Just don't do it. That's nightmare fuel. Oh my gosh. Who needs Lovecraft when Christianity has stuff like this? It's so true. Okay, so, biblically accurate angel. No. Put it on, if you can block that from a search engine, I don't know how you would do that, but do it. Because as soon as you look at it, then you are doomed to insanity or death. So I'm just letting you know. See, that's the Lovecraft thing. Yeah, insanity or death. So, Setsune is here! Setsune! Hey, a toast to Setsune! Killing brain cells at this point. We're just killing brain cells. So let's go ahead and take a look at Mega Dinobot for everything that he is. His legs are very floppy, and that's part of the way that he's constructed. I guess I need to adjust the camera here. Let's go ahead and slide him back a little bit so that he's more into frame. And I will adjust the focus just a little bit. There we go. There. Maybe. There. Okay. So, this is Mega Dinobot. And, a toast to Mazenfur for observing that he really is... Wait, I need the air quotes for this. Armed to the teeth. Thank you for that, Mazenfur. You win the evening. You get 1,000 clay points. See, he's got 4 arms, so he's armed. Six. Well, yeah. Oh, that's right. He's got 6 arms. Holy crap! Because he's got. Wait a minute here. Let's go ahead and expose. Let's bring these out. So he's got these. So yeah, he's got 6 arms. He's got 6 arms and a beak in his crotch. That's something. Oh, and he wants to fall over. So this is Transformers Energon Mega Dinobot. It's got problems. He's got problems. I really respect the effort here, and I respect what they're going for, but oh wait, here, let's put the foot down there. You got the foot. But I mean, honestly, did anybody need this? There we go. And okay, he's gonna fall over any minute. His legs just, there we go. Okay, so that is the combined form of Mega Dinobot. And I kind of want to show you him from all angles, but he doesn't even want to stand up in one angle. He's got wings. He's got lots of wings. He's got lots of arms. He's got a robot head. There's a robot head. The legs are a big problem. The legs are a huge problem. So there he is. That is Mega Dinobot. Ty Guy says, anyone brave enough to rock a dino head as a cod piece is not someone you want to mess with. And I will agree. Mega Dinobot, I have mixed feelings about Mega Dinobot because on one hand, you know what? You're right. He is a 6-armed engine of nightmare fuel. He is a mess. He's just a mess. But he's a Tyrannosaurus riding on the shoulders of a pterodactyl. He combines, and he definitely combines. It's definitive. And he doesn't take any extra pieces to do it. So they managed to get that to work. All within transforms that were, for the most part, functional and acceptable. But I think that the biggest sins of this are not the awkward combined mode. I don't think that, it's easy to make fun of things like that. But honestly, the worst thing about this isn't that Mega Dinobot is kind of awkward looking. It's that the plastic seems cheap, that the detail's not there, that the colors are bland and almost preschool looking. The fact that so many of the pieces that are in here don't tab into anything else in any mode so that you can really lock them in to a certain robot mode or beast mode or I'm out of booze, or anything else. It's 75% there. 75% realized of an interesting concept. And I do think that there's an interesting concept here. I mean, a dinosaur combiner made of Grimlock and Swoop with a badass buff-looking Swoop that no longer is the skinny, diminutive Swoop that we saw from the Gen 1 series. This is a Swoop with booster jets on his back. And if they locked in the place securely, then it would be a pretty kick-ass version of Swoop that merges to form a 4 or 6 armed engine of mayhem and destruction. That's pretty cool. If somebody came into a pitch meeting and they said, hey, we want to do a new version of Grimlock and Swoop, and they're going to turn into this frightful combined form that's got 6 arms and claws for hands, I'd be like, I'm in. But it's the implementation that hurts this toy. It's the obvious cost reductions. It's the lack of attention to detail. It's the lack of just having things securely, like these legs. These legs kill this concept, this floppiness. You've got your giant robot that is supported on joints that can't support it. It just doesn't work. And I think that it has a lot of potential to work. I really do. I like this concept. And I would be very happy to see them revisit this concept in the future if they're willing to put the effort into just committing to doing it well. And do it in the Gen 1 style. Do it to where it looks like both of these figures transform into mechanical monstrosities that are solid and strong and powerful. Not Duplo toy, not play school, but sci-fi, cool, modern, awesome. That's what we want to see. And Mason Fur was just asking what year this was. This was 2005, so the year is 2005. The Autobots. The Decepticons have taken the Autobots' homeworld of Cybertron, but on 2 of Cybertron's moons. You know the whole thing. So, yeah, I don't hate this, but I have to say that when I found out that they were doing Grimlock and Swoop for Energon, I was really, really looking forward to it. And when I finally got the set, I was disappointed. I was disappointed. It's just not as cool as it should have been. And yeah, Monica was just saying that she doesn't think that the early preview images looked like that. They were probably renderings that were, yeah, like toy show stuff. But whatever the case, yeah, it's a little bit of a shame because it's a lot of unrealized potential. There's a lot of potential here, and it's just not quite there. And Mazenfer says, Clay can repaint them. You know what? There is no paint in the universe that I can buy that's going to stick to this plastic. This just exudes the oil that it's made out of. So, now maybe I could like rub in an oil paint into the grooves to give it a little bit more depth. So, yeah, maybe I could do something like that. Maybe a little kit bashing to make the legs have secure joints in his combined mode. Yeah, that could be a project. Okay, initially I said no, but I'm going to temporarily rescind that no into a maybe. Yeah, maybe this turns into a Clay bash, and we replace all of this awful yellow. I mean, even spray paint gold is better than that yellow. And I think I could get spray paint to stick to that, because I think that they just use spray paint on it anyway. So there we have it. I have had enough to drink that I don't think I could talk about any more Transformers anyway. And it is 10:45. Holy crap, we took 2 hours and 45 minutes to talk about Dinobots. And here's the thing, we haven't even touched Grimstone, the Energon Power Core Combiner, nor have we touched Volcanicus, nor have we touched Transformers Titanium Grimlock. So I'm afraid that we are looking at Transformers Dinobots Part 3 and then probably a Part 4 in the future. I got a lot of toys and I gotta share them with my friends. So, have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, all of you, for coming. We are not doing a live stream tomorrow night. I am going to visit my mom, who I have not gotten to see all year long because of COVID. And so we have been isolating. I am confident that I have not contacted anybody, and I am going to go see my parents because I miss them. And then next Friday at 8 p.m., we are going to be talking about turtles. Oh yeah, it is time to hit Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Woo! Woo! Yeah! That's going to be great. And then also check out our how to change batteries. We've got, so in the last live stream, boy, that thing really likes to come off. In the last live stream, we talked about how to change the batteries in this toy, and we decided to do that as an independent video so that anybody that has the Star Wars Clone Wars Turbo Tank would know how to find the battery chamber in this thing and safely access it. We posted that, earlier today? It went live today at 8 o'clock. Check it out. Also, start thinking about your favorite monster Halloween toys, because we are going to do a live stream about monster toys. And so go ahead and post them in the comments, send them to our Twitter, our Instagram. We have social media. Monica has told me that we do. And so let us know what you would like to see for a Halloween special on monster toys. And yeah, my favorite monsters. That's going to be it. My favorite monsters. And if you suggest something that I don't know about, then I guess it's your favorite monsters. But nonetheless, we won't get everything on. But if you like this video, click the thumbs up because that helps us out. If you haven't subscribed, then hey, subscribe. It would be great. And click the notification bell so that you know when we do stuff. And I guess until then, I will see you next week. Unless we do something sooner. It's great to see everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for joining me on a Thursday night. Thank you for giving me the leeway to go visit my family on Friday. I love you all, and I will see you in 1 week. Have a wonderful weekend. Good night.